Hi, this is javinkharod, a chemical engineer by profession, going to continue our today's topic, chemical risk in petrochemical industries. An accident happens. Now what is that? Petrochemistry is a science that can apply fundamental human needs such as health, hygiene, housing. Food petrochemicals are the essential part of the chemical industries today. All began with crude oil and natural gas. Mixes of the hydrocarbon and small amount impurity, many area of world varying quantity and compositions. They are formed million of years, result of slow and long process. Delay, plant and animal buried deep in earth crust under tremendous pressure. Crude oil and natural gas are extracted from the ground, on land and under the ocean. The sinking oil well, they are transported to refinery by sea and pipeline. A line equipped with pump, valve, various other control devices, control adapted, moving liquid and gases. Now chemical risk. Main causes of accident in chemical splash which can occur in tanks, pipe and tank burst under pressure and during disassembly operation pipe or valve. Even if impossible, detail all the petrochemical process and thus establish complete list chemical risk encountered in the industries. Some of the well refining petrochemical operation involve use various chemical products. Now, risk evaluation. Risk evaluated by expert with limited discussion and engagement across all roles and functions. Risk focus. Focus is place, high frequency, low consequences, situation, typical workplace safety incident as opposed to process safety related incident. They are more like low frequency but high consequences. Compliances, oversubscriptions. The company high level trust in compliances, good and document management system, standard are guaranteed success. However, experience shown that robust management system only exists when defined standards are embodied by employee manager and there are often a gap. Institutional memory. Now, they have been found among the most knowledgeable employee or gave out ownership change have lead to enterprise know how being outsourced and reduced. Now, limited codification knowledge of the future generation. Detailed operating procedure written by professional, they are not tailored shop floor employee in working language of the company. Outdated data, despite being constantly adjusted, changing client need, lack of digital documentation, lead discrepancy between built or documented produces major risk in the hazard control. Now, lack of continued improvement mindset. As organization overestimated the longevity of the past success such as low incident score, deprioritizing maintenance, their frequency, lack of consistent preventive maintenance and operational knowledge, equipment, mechanical integrity, avoid unexpected downtime facility. Now, despite fact, the chemical sector, the valuable, respective, dependent safety culture, their behavior, the foster, the improve organization attitude towards safety and develop continued improvement mindset, such as inclusion and engagement safety management. Discuss about the prevailing risk in the company should belong day-to-day agenda of all employee company. They should not solve preserve expert. One of the most important task manager and supervisor should be regularly exchange idea with employee to develop their further and to jointly look opportunity for improvement. Now, dynamic risk assessment, constantly monitoring and question robustness risk barrier in the field, reduce likelihood of the significant accident, damage event, time spent as well invested since mature organization from compliance based approach more dynamic method managing risk. Now, prioritizing operational excellence. And the operational model, they are both adopted discipline and they are actively adopted market condition is excellent way to balancing both risk and production priority. In experience implementing well-designed maintenance and reliability program, operational resilience require allow agile response and production need. Transforming organization culture, address complimency through engagement, particular right kind of explanation for functional expert might resistance change can substantially impact the discipline safety critical task similar engaging the whole organization safety culture adaptation champion in essential and particular firm undergoing merger outsourcing downsizing which can hide and hinder of the culture cohesion. All the chemical prevalent modern day life. Unfortunate truth, we are sometimes forced to pay price with workplace at risk explosion. Worker chemical and industrial plant are exposed great risk by creation of the gases, build up heat and the reaction. Chemical plant become sources of serious and deep blinding explosion which can result in serious plant explosion injury such as third degree burn and even some property damage that can affect the local community for years to come. Now, employee responsibility as occupational safety hazard analysis find OSA issues the penalize employee that deprive worker of the safe environment. As owner, the company it is responsibility ensure every measure is taken ensure the safety and health employee on site as well as surrounding community. According to United States Chemical Safety Board, there are number of danger associated with use natural gas, fuel pipe cleaning, primary due to being highly flammable. OSHA seek implement safe workplace as highly encourage industrial site non-flammable, non-explosive options when cleaning fuel pipe system. Now, general standard employee include not limited to create a safe work environment free of hazard following all safety and health requirements. Regular check workplace conditions, equip employee with proper equipment and safety tools, maintain equipment, tools, replace needed, one worker, all hazard on the site. Train worker in health and safety procedure, frequent review standard, notify 8 hours of an accident include 3 times more injured worker on fatality. Now, study the most recent plant explosion leading causes and accident poorly maintained facility. Chemical produce, industrial plant are done so through use bold range, equipment and tool. This equipment require both specialized training, must properly maintain, order to perform efficient and safely. Plant operator fail to comply with the maintenance and safety regulation concern their equipment. Risk of disaster highlighted dramatically. Worker assigned maintenance, they are expected to inspect and replace outdated one equipment, especially possess a risk overlook such catalyst, reagent and boil. Now, training industrial worker. All employees have excellent understanding machinery. They work with chemical. They are handling danger of combustion. The risk associated with certain action. All employees should be taught how to prevent combustion and make sure how to know avoid potential hazardous situation involve mixing chemical or using open flame near flammable material. Unfortunate, some of company underrate the importance of training for employees, which can result in devastating accident at work site. Now, all employees, industrial work site, take courses that discuss safe work habit, safety guideline to reduce the risk of working with hazardous substances, chemical safety hazard, control measure for chemical safety, basic emergency response training, how hazardous material and their container are prepared for transportation. What type of documentation are required to transport hazardous material? Various aspects of working safety with electric equipment, plant, structure check, and power system. Checks should be completed before using forklift. Now, what causes plant explosion? There are truthfulness. There are many different situations can lead to plant explosion. However, some of the common and other examples are the fire quickly spiral out of control, causing large explosion. The causes the plant explosion are boiler, they are not properly cared for, careless, cigarette smoking, lack of equipment maintenance, flammable chemical and material, electric hazard, malfunction of the dangerous equipment, improper maintenance of the machinery, unseen corrosion, the use of impure and dirty chemical, falling, properly trained all employee, well blowout, poor labeling, unsafe procedure and violation of the safety regulations. The causes plant explosion are preventable, which make explosion all more tragic. It can difficult determine direct causes. It often takes several months to find answer. More often, refinery explosion is a result numerous factors: poor maintenance, unsafe procedure, improperly stored chemical, poor labeling, bad valve, electric hazard, and they are often black. When employee negligence is involved, it can lead frustration, outrage, or even widespread community protest. If you have recently injured a plant explosion, then in your best interest to get involvement of experienced attorney to help you file claim regarding explosion. Corrosion is the natural process occurs when machinery exposed to oxygen plant refinery. It is distinct hazard because nature of the work that is being completed in order complete process refining crude oil. The plant utilize extreme heat, high temperature and fractional distillation necessary complete process refining oil. Unfortunately, process naturally create corrosion most of cannot be seen common eye. Unseen corrosion described silent killer. Dangerous are easily unnoticed. They missed even machine have thoroughly inspected. Even overlooked corrosion remain machinery getting worse with each passing use. Equipment become more worn. It become increasing more dangerous use. Unbreakable and the worker who are utilizing the machinery, equipment continue to get more use. The safe indication of the chipping, paint, wearing enamel, they are good way identify corrosion. Chemical explosion catalyst. A chemical explosion is result applying external force of the chemical compound which causes compound undergo structural change, releasing high amount heat and gas. Force is known catalyst. Catalysts are utilized for processing production new chemical compound. Catalysts also cause unintended explosive reaction through action which may accident accelerate. Catalyst process accelerate chemical reaction can unintentionally caused by chemical plant by poorly maintained equipment, unclean work environment, simply negligent behavior and equipment used to produce a process can chemical compound is not properly cleaned. Foreign element can easily skew and process and causes a chemical accident. Furthermore, contaminate air and plant warehouses itself show the catalyst when the element contaminate air combined. All chemical being produced on a plant. Simple mistake can set off the destructive event. Now, dust explosion. Combustion dust is made small particle present explosion hazard when the right chemical flammable atmosphere. A dust explosion can be catastrophic. In past, the explosion resulted employee death, injury, property damage, and plant, the work location. Many employees are not aware of risk of combustible dust in work environment. Despite fact about combustion dust explosion, many industries are risk of the type of blast. Now, the risk combustion dust explosion, where it is found in chemical plant, food processing and manufacturing plant, agriculture industries, grain processing plant, fertilizer plant, tobacco plant, furniture manufacture facility, pharmaceuticals company, pesticide company, tire and rubber manufacture plant, dye factory, coal factories, metal processing location, recycling operation, paper and pulp plant, woodwork industries, plastic plant, and fossil fuel plant generation, where oxygen, heat and fuel may causes blast in the gas, where three elements react together. In a dust explosion, dust is a fuel. OSA, the dust particles need to disperse sufficient quantity and concentration causes. This is deflagration. The deflagration happens in confined space, such room or unventilated vessel. This can cause pressure to rise in uncontainable level. Now, OSA describes dust explosion with 5 points: heat, fuel, oxygen, dispersion, confinement. When dust explosion may occur, it triggers secondary explosion. This is because initial blast may disperse most combustible and dust particles into atmosphere, which react heat many times. Secondary explosion is far more destructive than the initial explosion was. OSA report the most death combustion dust explosion come from the secondary explosion, not the primary one. As combustion dust explosion, OSA recommended the supervisor conduct hazard assessment, all handle material operation, conducted space, workplace, potential ignition source. Think needed to rearrange, repair, remove. This action need employee can also reduce possibility combustible dust explosion, implementing hazardous inspection, testing space for the presence of the fuel. There are many reasons the explosion occur industrial plant site. One of the most common incidents or causes explosion plant site is contaminant when there are dangerous gases, chemical and sediment and chemical reaction can cause explosion. Okay guys, this is up to our today's topic about chemical risk in petrochemical industries and accident happens. I hope you get sufficient knowledge after watching this video. Next Sunday, we have covered some another chemical engineering topics. Till then, goodbye. Do take good care of yourself.